There's a lot of restraint in terms of the cinematography. Is that correct?
Tommy Lee wanted to have a minimalist approach to the visuals. Our elements of composition were the land, the sky, and this box. I had just done Wolf of Wall Street with Scorsese, so it was such a huge change, you know, from the craziness of you know, the Wall Street and the women and the drugs and the sex and all that to this minimalist approach.
Well, in my mind, this to me is the most feminist of Westerns.
You know, everybody had it tough, but women especially. There was this prevailing sense of women, you know, have to just bear children and bear the brunt of, you know, all this difficulty. So indeed, it's a very feminist story.
The starlight and the sky is so beautiful in that.
That was fake.
Good. Tell me how you did that.
Yeah, we added it in post-production because actually when there's fire, it's so bright that just
You
simply
don't see the
exposure-wise, you would
stars.
not see the stars. It was such a relief from New Mexico and the dust and the wind, and it was really harsh, which I think you feel in the movie
Right.
in a good way. You know, we
Right.
suffered. It's actually beautiful, you know, the way the hair moves in the wind
Right.
and all that, but Georgia was like such a relief, you know, and it was hot and we sweat, but it was humidity. You know,
Right.
we were thirsty for humidity.
I just wanted to say, this is what Iñárritu said
Very
about
good.
you. He said, over the years, Rodrigo and I have developed a communication level that is not only effective and very productive, but also very profound. We just go straight to the DNA. Do you feel that that collaboration with him is your closest? How would you characterize working with other people like Scorsese?
Certainly every director is very different, but I think with Alejandro, since Amores Perros was his first movie, and so he trusted me in the sense that I had done movies before and we had done commercials together, and so from the very beginning we did the shot list and a lot of it, so I participated in the making of the movie maybe more than normal, you would say, for a cinematographer. What was amazing for me when I met him and I started preparing Wolf of Wall Street was that he is very, very open to ideas and to, you know, he hires people that he wants to collaborate with, you know, so it's not, you know, this dictator who, you know, has a very definite idea, single vision. Though, the way his language in cinema, which I've always admired, you know, since I was in film school. I always liked
Right.
very much the way he uses a camera. So that he's very specific about. So to listen to him go through the script and tell me how he wanted to shoot specific moments. He scribbles on his script the shots that he wants to do with little diagrams and stuff, and that becomes the basis for the shooting. So then it's up to me to interpret those little scribbles and set up a shot. He's also very, very charming, and I think that's one of his biggest assets, is that he'll charm everybody into doing whatever he wants to do.
You really had to work hard to make Hilary Swank not look attractive.
The first thing was I did an attempt to light her cosmetically, let's say. One thing that I strive for is to make the images not look lit, you know, and I try to make it seem as if indeed they sit in that wagon and it's,
yeah.
you know, and it's the light that we were lucky to get, but indeed it takes a lot of work to, you know, do that. Basically, it was just not trying to, okay, now it's a girl, we'll put frontal light, you know, I just treated her like Tommy Lee, you know, basically.
Tommy Lee, who he looks rough, man.
Yes. Lots of the visual effects were planned in advance. There was one moment where I asked for a visual effect that wasn't planned, and that's a day for night shot. And everybody was very skeptical, but what I did is on this scout, I shot a photograph of this location and asked visual effects to make it look like, you know, day for night. And they made a great job of it, and Tommy Lee was convinced, and that's how we approached that. The thing that you were saying about the horizon line, that was essential. That was really thought out and, well, as a theme and where to put the horizon. And indeed, the heaven and the earth, you know, and where to put it. Whenever, even if we were shooting a scene in this direction, if we saw that the sky was doing something great in this direction, we'd have a second camera shoot it. So that's what became the title sequence, where you have all these shots of sky and ground. And that was mostly shots that the second camera was grabbing at simultaneously as we were shooting the actors, you know. So it was like, okay, go there and make sure that, and then sometimes I'd run and reframe it and.
I would like to thank you for this contender conversation from Variety, and thank you, Rodrigo Pietro, and thank you, Savannah.
Thank you very much.